Hello, everyone. Mackie here, and if you guys notice, yes, I kinda skipped a day, and I apologize in advance. So, to make up for all of it, I decided to do two uploads into one day. Yes, the rarity of this is it's stunning and horrifying, but it is what it is, I guess. So, I'm gonna do the recap of what happened 2 days ago between BLGT1 and Line Furia. And then, of course, I'm get to the comedy that is top esports, losing to a bunch of losing to a bunch of whales, and then G2 getting obliterated by Hana Live Esports later in the day. Or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, this is gonna be some interesting stuff. Anyways, let's just talk about the first series between BLG and T1. And for all the Doran versus Ben Hoopla, it become a great series. Just be honest, it was a great series, back and forth between these two teams. Well, actually, not back and forth. It was more of T1 finding their way, just trying to do the team fighting and doing all that kind of stuff, and then BLG with the back of Shun and Knight, dominate that series, of course. But the top lane matchup was kind of like it was nah. It was kind of like one of those low key boxing matches that feels like they didn't punch anything and it was like a non show. So it sucks, but it is what it is. It's a team game after all, but it didn't take away from a great series between these two. Let's look at the numbers. Pays on Jin was brilliant 6-1 and 6, 12 KDA, 75 kill participation, and 45.6k damage. Shun on an Afiri 9-0 and 5 is game 2. 70% kill participation and 17.4k damage. Game 3 was a nice show. Mid lane Rise 6-3 and 4, 3.3 KDA, 71 kill participation, and 24.3k damage. And then T1 came back in game 4 with the Jarvan owner game, which is brilliant. 2-2 and 14 assists, 8 KDA, 70% kill participation, and 14k damage. And then Shun on the Kindred of all champions 306 perfect KDA, 90 kill participation at 18.3k damage, and that is how BLG managed to wrestle the control and beat T1 by exactly the same scoreline I predicted from my predictions. If you watch my predictions, of course, from a couple of days ago. Knight was brilliant 25, 10, and 28, 5.3 KDA, 77 kill participation at 120.9k damage. Jun 29-34, 6 KDA, 78 kill participation, and 75.9k damage. And then on point, 4, 11, and 50 assists, 4.9 KDA, 76 kill participation, and 32.2k damage. And unfortunately, I have to say, Owner is my team of the series. He went 7, 15, and 19, although he was great in game 4, of course. 1.7 KDA, 50 kill participation, and 39.3k damage. So, in case maybe people don't know, the real reason why BLG won is the complete opposite of what happened last year when BLG gone through a million of junglers. They weren't as good as many people think, and he was the difference. Well, I get yeah, Knight was brilliant, and as per usual, Knight has become one of the best players in the tournament. I mean, you can say that Zeka was a run for his money, but you can say that Knight was the difference in this tournament. But I think having Shun back for BLG is massive, massive for this team, of course. You know, the team fighting style, the mid jungle synergy was on point, the domination, it was kind of like, that was a difference. That was a difference. I mean, the Faker owner combination was fine, but it's not like as dominant as the Shun Knight domination, especially those two games when it was popping on in the Fury and Kindred. And it was like absolute brilliance. It was absolute brilliance. And I have to say, if you are a BLG fan and you're an LPL fan, consider again, we're going to get to that. Listen, I'm going to upload the second, listen, I'm going to upload the second day, the yesterday's games or today's games, by the way. And right now, if you're an LPL fan, you must be thinking BLG are the great hope. And right now, they're looking like the great hope for all LPL fans across the globe right now. Because the way they've been playing against T1 and the way they're playing right now, they're looking like the best team in the world. They're looking like one of the best teams in the world, alongside How to Life Esports at this moment. And this series to showcase why. I think for T1, you don't feel too bad, of course, if you're them. I mean, the series was fine. Doran did not play a great series for all the hoopla. You say that. So does Ben, but it is what it is. Pays was decent, of course. Owner was good, especially in that one game. Faker was mid. Not great, but not bad either. It is. So, yeah, if you're T1, you don't feel too bad. You were competitive against the team that I think they should not be belong in the same bracket, let alone the same matchup as anybody else. If T1 would get a different opponent, as my MSI fix it the bracket says, I think T1 would have gone past certain opponents, and then we'll have to face BLG in some of the points. But the bracket screwed them up. It is what it is, and at least they put up a good competitive series, but it did not feel enough. And yeah, T1 lost, and now they have to face Furia, of course. And speaking of Furia, I believe that this is one of those series that you look at this and just saying, oh, it's a 3-0, easy. But if you look at those two games, you can say that Furia was kind of in it. Like they were dominating most of the time. They were putting up some decent fights, of course. They were punishing some of the mistakes. And I was like, oh my God, Furia might actually do something against Lion. And then the objectives just let me down. And Lion's incredible team fighting. So for all that hoopla that Furia brought me in, they failed when it comes to objectives and team fights. And that was the reason why they lost the series 3-0. Yeah. So in terms of the series scoreline and the way they played, you can say the Furia played decently well. They did fine. They did good. They did good against their North American counterparts, or which is saying the Americas counterparts. But in the end, it's the objectives and clutchness and some of the team fighting is just too much, especially on Dokla. When Dokla did not have a great series, by my opinion, but some way, somehow, he managed to make an impact, which is way better than Castle at this point. So it is what it is. So let's just look at these stats. Inspired in game one on Jarvan, 7-3 and 13, 6.7 KDA, 87 kill participation on 23.9k damage. Berserker 11-0 and 6, perfect KDA on Ziggs, and I said he was brilliant on that Ziggs game. He was brilliant. 34 kill participation on 52.2k damage. Saint on Victor, 4-2-13, 8.5 KDA, 81 kill participation, and 32.7k damage. For my 3 stars of the series, I go with Berserker. He was brilliant in that series. 19-3 and 23, 14 KDA, 63 kill participation at 133.4k damage. And Inspired 18-7, 36, 7.7 KDA, 81 kill participation and 56.7k damage. And then Saint 8-12, 35, 3.6 KDA, 64 kill participation and 93.6k damage. Let's be honest, Isles did not have a great series, to be honest. He did not have a great series. So many ins, so many bad fights. It's just not his best moment. And despite that, they still won. And unfortunately, for my boy Toots did not show up to that day. He went 11, 17, and 21, 1.9 KDA, 59 kill speed, and 71.4k damage. Yeah, it did not look great. I mean, for Furia right now, and sadly, they have to face up against an angry T1 team tomorrow morning, and they're going to get their collective ass kicked. Unlike, as I mentioned, the other series I'm going to mention, of course, later on today, this is not going to be close. It is going to be an angry T1 just destroying all of Brazil, and it's not going to be as pretty. And I felt bad for them. I felt bad for Furia because I feel like Furia should have a chance, let alone have a chance. I mean, when the bracket was put in to put Lion and Furia, I mean, I know, listen, yeah, Furia shouldn't be playing against a different opponent, but if you have Furia or Lion, and if you're a Furia fan, you must be thinking, oh my God, we have a chance. We have a chance to really trigger North America fans and also make progress in the bracket, which is kind of like, if you're a CBLOL fan, that's huge, huge. And then you put up a decent fight, and it doesn't matter, and you lost the series, and now you have to face T1, and you go 0-6, and everybody in CBLOL is going to be absolutely upset, considering that, hey guys, it should be like, being bracket stages and getting extra slots at Worlds. And then you put up this kind of performance. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I can't win. You can simply win sometimes. So, yes. So in case maybe people, so in case you did not know, and yes, this is kind of like a spoiler, of course. This is the bracket, of course, stage. Yes, I'm going to be talking about the Honda Life Esports G2 series, which was not even close. And now I'll talk about the comedy. I'm going to talk about the comedy, man. I'm going to talk about the absolute comedy that this Team Secret Wells and Top Esports just delivered. And boy, if you're a Top Esports fans, you just delete your organization immediately right now because it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. Although I will give Team Secret Wells and the entire LCP some flowers because this is an historic day for them and their fans. This is huge. So I'll be talking about that later on today. So if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe for more League of Legends and MSI 2026 coverage, shorts, and all the kind of stuff. I'll be on the shorts and the TikToks and all kinds of stuff. And be on Twitter, do some stuff. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Drink some water, get your pets neutered, love each other, and stay safe, walk good. And I will see you guys later today.